Welcome to migration of Exchange Server 2016 to Exchange Server 2019. Before we move further to start the migration process, let's see our lab scenario. We are using two domain, that is internal and external. Internal domain is a local domain, that is techijack.inside, and the external domain is our public domain, that is techijack.live. And the forest and domain functional level is Windows Server 2016, and this organization has only one domain controller, that is DC, and one Exchange Server 2016. So we already have Exchange Server 2016 installed. If you see the root DC01, I have installed the Active Directory in it, that is techijack.inside, and the IP is 192.168.2.10, and this is my Hyper-V host machine. It has a i5 CPU with 32 GB of memory, and Windows Server 2016 data center is installed. And the next server is EX01 with the IP of 192.168.2.12, and it has a Exchange 2016 CU22 installed, and it also has a i5 CPU with 10 gigs of memory with Windows Server 2016 data center is installed. And now we are going to introduce our third server where we will do a migration of our Exchange 2016 to 19, and that is also a virtual machine inside the Hyper-V host. It also has the same i5 CPU, 12 GB of RAM. Windows Server 2019 is installed on it, that is a standard version, and we will be installing Exchange 2019 CU9, and the IP of this new server will be 192.168.2.18, and the name of the server will be EX02 2019. So Exchange 2016 is pre-configured with all the virtual directories, Outlook Anywhere, Auto Discover, DNS settings, ports, certificates. It has a perfect email flow, and we are using split DNS for internal and external DNS zones like techijack.inside and techijack.live. And our plan is we will install a new Exchange Server 2019 as a coexistence, and will configure it, and we will also migrate 2016 mailboxes to EX02 2019. That will be a new Exchange Server 2019. And finally we will decommission our Exchange Server 2016. If in case you have any problem with this scenario, or you have any query, you can email me on info@techijack.com. So let's move further. So we are on our Exchange Server 2016, and if we go to the admin center, these are the recipients, and inside the server you can see only the one server, that is EX01, only one database, that is DB01, no database availability group, and you can see the virtual directory for EX01. If I go to the properties of ECP, you can see the mail.techijack.live, and same goes with the OVA. It is pre-configured and the working server. Inside the server, if I go to the Outlook Anywhere, you can see the mail.techijack.live already set, and the certificate is already installed, that you can see the manual issued by the Let's Encrypt, and it is assigned to IMAP, IIS and SMTP. And if you go to the mail flow, accepted domain, we have a internet domain, that is techijack.live, and the send connector for sending the email outside. So if you see like the prerequisites of 2019, now I am on a EX02. I have already installed prerequisite for on my Active Directory server, that is .NET Framework, Visual C++ 2012 and 13. Also I have installed the install Windows feature RSet ADDS, and this is the requirement for Exchange Server like 2000 Windows Server 2019, and we have to install all these prerequisites. And I have also installed the Server Media Foundation and Unified Communication Managed API. So they are already installed, and these all Windows feature are also installed on the new server. And the Exchange drive, you can see the E drive, and I have prepared the schema, prerequisite analysis completed, and the schema is extended. And then the organization preparation by the prepare AD command is done, and the prerequisite analysis is completed. Organization preparation is also completed. And finally, the prepare all domain prerequisite analysis has been done successfully, and the domain has prepared. So let me close it out, and let's start the installation of Exchange Server. So click on next. You can see the Microsoft Exchange Server 2019 cumulative update 9. So it's copying the file. Let me click on next. I accept the license, recommended setting, and let's select the mailbox role and click on next. So right now I am keeping it in a default location. Disable the malware scanning. No, I don't want to disable, so click on next. It's configuring the prerequisites and it has been completed. Let's start the installation. Now the setup has been completed. So it is a coexisting environment, Exchange Server 2016 and Exchange 2019 as well. So the Exchange 2019 is already installed, and you can see the operating system is Windows Server 2019, computer name is EX02 2019, and it is joined with the domain, and I'm using the standard version of 2019 server. So let's go to the server again, and now you can see after the installation we have a EX02 2019, and the version and the virtual directory. If you see, you will see the virtual directory for both the server. And right now if I go and check with the ECP, you can see the mail.techijack.live, and if I go for the EX02 to 2019 for the ECP, you see it is not set to the mail.techijack.live. So we have to set all these virtual directly same as the Exchange 2016. If I go to the Outlook Anywhere once again, you can see for EX02 it is not set. So let's try to set it here as well. So mail.techijack.insight, and let me copy it. Okay, I have to do it live. Let's copy and paste. Same for the other as well, external URL. Let me click on OK, and let's go to the management shell. So we have a few commandlet here, like server name is EX02 2019, and the FQDN name we are using will be mail.techijack.live. So I have set these commandlet according to these parameters, and we will configure OA, ECP, offline address book, active sync, web services, and MAPI virtual directories. So let me copy this and let's try to paste it in a Exchange management shell. Now if you see, it is trying to set the OA, and you have changed the internal or external URL for the OA virtual directory. Please make the same changes for ECP as well. So now it's working on ECP virtual directory. You can see get ECP virtual directory, server name set ECP virtual directory, and now it's working on offline address book, active sync, and web services. Now MAPI virtual directory, we have completed ECP, OAB, active sync, web services, and MAPI virtual directory. So let's try to check it as well. Let's go to the virtual directories once again, and if I check with the ECP EX01 first, we have already configured it like mail.techijack.live/ECP. Let's check for the EX02 as well. This is 2019 server, so it is now set. Let's also check it for EWS. It is also set properly. So you have to make sure that each and every virtual directory is set properly, same as the Exchange 2016. So our map is also set. Let's go and check with the active sync. Active sync is also fine. OAB, it is also set properly. So you have to make sure that every virtual directory has been set properly. So OY is also set. I haven't made any changes to the PowerShell. If you see the EX01 PowerShell, it is same as default, and you can see it is EX01, and if you see for the EX02, it is default for the EX02 as well. For the security reason, I haven't made any changes on that. So our virtual directories are set. So let me minimize this and clear the screen. And we have to also set the auto discover scope. Let's check our auto discover. So if you see the EX01, you will see the mail.techijack.live is already set there for the auto discover URL. But for EX02, it's going to the server name EX02 2019. So we have to make the changes on it. For that, we will run this commandlet get client access services identity, the new server, auto discover URL, mail.techijack.live. That will be like auto discover slash auto discover dot xml. So let me try to hit enter. I think it's ran successfully. So let me check it once again. So now you can see that EX01 has the same URL like mail.techijack.live auto discover, and the same goes with the EX02 as well. So our virtual directory is set, auto discover is set, and Outlook anywhere is also set on the new server, same as our 2016 exchange. So let me close this. Let me save this. You can see there is only one certificate, that is manual, and the expiry date you can check here, and it is assigned to IMAP and IIS right now. So let me go to the properties of this certificate. And you can see the subject alternative name here, auto discover and mail.techijack.live is there, and root domain is also there. So let's go to the EX02, and here we have only the default certificate. We don't have a third-party certificate installed, so we have to install it. So let me minimize it. I have already copied this certificate, and let's place it inside the C drive inside the cert folder. Let me try to install the pfx. Let me minimize it and select the local machine. Click on next. Here it's showing the path of the certificate. That is fine. Click on next. Now let me put the password here and select the option make the key as exportable. Let's click on next. Automatically select the setting and finish it. The import was successful. So let's try to confirm it through the MMC. Add remove snap in. Let's select the certificate, add computer account, next, finish. Okay. So now if I go to the personal, here we have a certificate. You can see the techijack.live is now installed on the second server, that is EX02 2019, our second exchange server. So click on OK. So don't save it. Let's go back to our certificate. Let me refresh it. After refresh, we will see that okay, here it is, that manual certificate, and it has the same expiry date and assigned to none of the services right now. So let's try to see the services. So let me select the SMTP, IMAP and IIS. The same settings has been done on the other certificate installed on 2016. So let me click on yes. So now our certificate has been successfully installed and assigned to the services IMAP, IIS and SMTP. I hope you are clear up to here. So let's meet in the next video to proceed further with the migration.